Hello students, welcome back to the English class. This is the second session of the chapter The Bond of Love. We had ended the previous session at the point when Bruno had eaten poison, he had taken poison and he was in critical situation and the author had taken him to the house of veterinary doctor. And in today's session, we will read how his life was saved and what happens next. Now, let's continue. Out came his medical books, and a feverish reference to index began. What poison did you say, sir? Barium carbonate. Ah, yes, barium, salts, barium carbonate. Symptoms, paralysis, treatment, injections off. Just a minute, sir. I'll bring my syringe and the medicine. Now, the author was in the house of veterinary doctor, and as veterinary doctor came to know about his condition, about Bruno's condition, he took out his medical books and started finding in the index the treatment of paralysis, as Bruno had got symptoms of paralysis. Now he found a treatment, and then he told to the author to wait for a minute as he was bringing syringe and the medicine. I dashed back to the car, Bruno still floundering means struggling to move, about on his stumps but clearly weakening rapidly, some vomiting, heavy breathing, with heaving flanks and gaping mouth. Now they quickly rushed or ran towards the car, but Bruno was still struggling to move as he was not able to move further. But he was looking very weak. Still, he was vomiting and he was not able to breathe. He was still opening his mouth. Hold him, everybody. In goes a hypodermic. Hypodermic means a long needle used to give an injection under the skin. In goes a hypodermic. Bruno squeals. Squeals means cries. 10 cc of the antidote enters his system without a drop being wasted. Now, he was given the injection. It was injection of 10 cc of antidote. 10 minutes later, condition unchanged. But this injection did not make any effect on Bruno. Another 10 cc injected. One more injection was given to him. 10 minutes later, breathing less stertorous. Stertorous means noisy breathing. Bruno can move his arms and legs a little, although he cannot stand yet. Now he was able to move his arms and legs, but still he was not able to stand properly. 30 minutes later, Bruno gets up and has a great feat. But after 30 minutes, he was very well, and also he was fed. He took food. He looks at us disdainfully. Disdainfully means full of contempt, disapprovingly, as much as to say, what's barium carbonate to a big black bear like me? Bruno is still eating. Now, after 30 minutes, he was quite well. He ate food, and also he looked at doctor and author disdainfully, disapprovingly, as it seemed that he wanted to say that barium carbonate would not affect an animal which is very big. And he also started eating. Another time he found nearly 1 gallon of old engine oil, which I had drained from the sump of the Studebaker. Studebaker means an old American car, and was keeping as a weapon against the inroads of termites. Inroads means here entry of termites. He promptly drank the lot, but it had no ill effects whatever. Now, one more incident happened with Bruno when he had he had drunk the engine oil that was brought by the author in the house because he wanted to kill the termites, as there was the entry of termites in the house. He had kept this engine oil as a weapon, but it was drunk by Bruno, but it had no effect on Bruno. The months rolled on, and Bruno had grown many times the size he was when he came. As the months was going on and he was getting bigger in size, he had equaled the Alsatians in height and had even outgrown them. Even his height was equal to the Alsatians dogs, even it was more than the height of them, but was just as sweet, just as mischievous, just as playful. Even he was growing in height, but still he was very sweet, he was very naughty, and he also played just like before. And he was very fond of us all. Above all, he loved my wife, and she loved him too. She had changed his name from Bruno to Baba, a Hindustani word signifying small boy. As he was growing, his affection with author's wife was increasing day by day. They both loved each other, and author's wife changed his name from Bruno to Baba, which means a small boy. And he could do a few tricks too. At the command Baba, wrestle or Baba box, he vigorously tackled anyone who came forward for a rough and tumble. When he was commanded, he started playing some tricks also. When he was commanded Baba wrestle or Baba box, he would very happily he would come forward and he would start wrestling with the person before him and he would overpower the person. Give him a stick and say Baba hold gun, and he pointed the stick at you. And when he would be instructed Baba hold gun, then he would take a stick in his hand and he would point at the person before him. Ask him Baba, where's the baby? And he immediately produced and cradled affectionately a stump of wood which he had carefully concealed in his straw bed. Concealed means he had hidden. And now he would when he would be said, where is the baby? Then immediately produce a stump of wood and he would start cradling the stump very affectionately, and he would hide his stump of wood in his straw bed. But because of the tenant's children, poor Bruno or Baba had to be kept chained most of the time. As he was growing in size, that's why he was chained most of the time. He was chained most of the time, as the tenant's children could be threatened by him. Then my son and I advised my wife, and friends advised her too, to give Baba to the zoo at Mysore. He was getting too big to keep at home. As he was now very big in size, so it was not possible to keep him in the house. So the author and his son advised author's wife to give Baba to the zoo at Mysore. After some weeks of such advice, she at last consented. At last she agreed. Hastily, and before she could change her mind, a letter was written to the curator of the zoo. Curator means a person in charge of zoo. Did he want a tame bear for his collection? He replied yes. The zoo sent a cage from Mysore in a lorry, a distance of 87 miles, and Baba was packed off. Now, as author's wife agreed to send him to the zoo, very quickly a letter was written to the curator, to the in charge of the zoo, and after getting reply, a cage was sent from Mysore in a lorry, and Baba was sent to the zoo, and it was 87 miles away from their house. We all missed him greatly, but in a sense we were relieved. My wife was inconsolable. She wept and fretted. Now everybody was missing him, missing Baba very much, but author's wife was inconsolable. She was very much upset. She kept on weeping and fretted. She was very much worried. She was unhappy. She was she was getting irritated. For the first few days, she would not eat a thing. Then she wrote a number of letters to the curator. How was Baba? Back came the replies, well, but fretting, he refuses food too. As author's wife did not eat food for some days, then she started writing the letter. She wrote a number of letters to the curator, to the in charge of the zoo, and started asking about Baba. Even in the reply, also she came to know that Baba was also refusing to eat the food, and also he was fretting. He was also very much upset. He was unhappy. After that, friends visiting Mysore were begged to make a point of going to the zoo and seeing how Baba was getting along. Now, first of all, she started writing the letters to the curator, but now, when she came to know that any uh, acquaintance of them, their friends were going to the Mysore, she begged them. She begged them to go to the zoo and see how Baba was getting there. They reported that he was well but looked very thin and sad. All the keepers at the zoo said he was fretting. For 3 months I managed to restrain my wife from visiting Mysore. Then she said one day, I must see Baba. Either you take me by car or I will go myself by bus or train. So I took her by car. Now she came to know that Baba was not feeling well in the zoo. He was also fretting. Then, at least for 3 months, the author could manage to control his wife from visiting Mysore. But one day she said, at last one day she said that she must go to Mysore and see Baba. Also, she asked the author if he would take him by car or she would go herself by bus or train. Now there was no any other option. The author had to take his wife by car to Mysore. Friends had conjectured means they had formed an opinion by guessing that the bear would not recognize her. I had thought so too, as it was 3 months since 3 months the bear was in the zoo, and so friends had made the opinion. They had thought that the bear would not recognize her. Even author had also thought that he would not recognize her. But while she was yet some yards from his cage, Baba saw her and recognized her. He howled with happiness. She ran up to him, patted him through the bars, and he stood on his head in delight. As author and his friends had thought that the bear would not recognize her, but as still she was at some yards from his cage, Baba saw her and recognized her, and he also started making noises with happiness. He also became very much happy. Even his wife also was very much happy. They both were delighted. For the next 3 hours, she would not leave that cage. She gave him tea, lemonade, cakes, ice cream, and what not. Then closing time came, and we had to leave. My wife cried bitterly, Baba cried bitterly. Even the hardened curator and the keepers felt depressed. As for me, I had reconciled myself to what I knew was going to happen next. Now they lived at the zoo for 3 hours, but for these 3 hours she did not leave the cage. She kept on sitting there continuously, and she gave her many things to eat and drink that she had brought with her. And when the closing time came, she started uh, she started to cry. Even Baba also started crying very bitterly. Even the curator and the keepers, they also felt depressed. They were also very much hopeless. They were unhappy to see all this. And also, author says that I had reconciled. I had accepted myself that what would be the next step, as he knew that now he would have to take Baba with him back to the house. Oh, please, sir, she asked the curator, may I have my Baba back? Hesitantly, he answered, Madam, he belongs to the zoo and is government property now. I cannot give away government property. But if my boss, the superintendent at Bangalore, agrees, certainly you may have him back. At last, the author's wife asked the curator that she wanted to take Baba back. And then curator answered her that this is now Bruno belonged to the zoo and he was now government property and he could not give the government property to anyone. But also he said at the same time that if his boss, the superintendent at Bangalore, agrees, then he would surely send him Baba with them. There followed a return journey to Bangalore and a visit to the superintendent's bungalow. To get permission from superintendent, they went back to Bangalore and they went to the bungalow of superintendent. A tearful pleading, Baba and I are both fretting for each other. Will you please give him back to me? He was a kind-hearted man and consented. Now she started requesting to superintendent. She told him that Baba and I both are fretting up, we both are very much upset. And she also requested him to give Baba back to her. As superintendent was a very kind-hearted man, so he agreed. He gave permission to take Baba back to her house. Not only that, but he wrote to the curator telling him to lend us a cage for transporting the bear to Bangalore. And also, he wrote the letter to curator telling him to lend them a cage for transporting the bear to Bangalore. Back we went to Mysore again, and armed with the superintendent's letter, Baba was driven into a small cage and hoisted on top of the car. The cage was tied securely, and a slow and careful return journey to Bangalore was accomplished. Now again they went back to Mysore, holding the superintendent's letter. Now the Baba was sent back in a small cage. He was hoisted on top of the car, and the cage was tied very securely, and again there was return journey to Bangalore, and it was very slow and careful journey, and the journey was completed. Now they brought Baba back to their house. Once home, a squad of coolies were engaged for special work in our compound. Now when they came back to the house, a group of workers was engaged for special work in their compound. An island was made for Baba. As he was growing very big in size, that's why an island was made to keep Baba in the island. It was 20 feet long and 15 feet wide and was surrounded by a dry pit or moat 6 feet wide and 7 feet deep. Now an island was made for Baba. It was 20 feet long and 15 feet wide, and also it was surrounded by a dry pit so that the people would not come inside the island and Baba would not go out of the island to the house. A wooden box that once housed fowls was brought and put on the island for Baba to sleep in at night. Now a wooden box that was kept for the birds, for hens or cocks in the house, that was brought inside the island, and it was kept there in the island so that Baba would sleep inside the wooden box at night. Straw was placed inside to keep him warm. Even the straw was also placed inside the box, and his baby, the knoll stump, along with his gun, the piece of bamboo, both of which had been sentimentally preserved since he had been sent away to the zoo, were put back for him to play with. Now the things, just like the toys of Baba, they were kept very securely in the house, and now they were also kept in the zoo so that they were also kept in the island so that he may play with them. In a few days, the coolies hoisted the cage onto the island and Baba was released. Now within a few days, the cage was kept inside the island and Baba was released from the cage. He was delighted, standing on his hind legs. He pointed his gun and cradled his baby. My wife spent hours sitting on a chair there while he sat on her lap. He was 15 months old and pretty heavy too. Now he was 15 months old, still he was looking very beautiful, he was very pretty. And his wife spent hours while sitting there in the island, and he kept on playing with the toys with his gun, and also he cradled his baby just like the other days he did. The way my wife reaches the island and leaves it is interesting. I have tied a rope to the overhanging branch of a mango tree with a loop at its end. Now he says, the author says here that the way his wife reaches the island, that is very interesting. How she reaches the island, how she leaves the island is very interesting. Now the author has tied a rope to the overhanging branch of a mango tree, and also a loop has been made at the end of the rope. Putting one foot in the loop, she kicks off with the other to bridge the 6-foot gap that constitutes the width of the surrounding pit. As there was a gap of 6 feet, as a ditch was made, 6 feet, a ditch was made to surround the island, so that nobody could go inside the island and Bruno would not come out of the island. So now there is a gap of 6 feet, and she has to cross this gap. So that's why a rope has been tied to the overhanging branch of a mango tree. Now what she does now, she puts one foot in a loop and she kicks off with the other so that she may go inside the island. The return journey is made the same way. Also in the same way she comes back out of the island. But who can say now that a sloth bear has no sense of affection, no memory, and no individual characteristics? But now at the last, author says here that the sloth bear has also sense of affection. He is also very emotional. He is also sentimental. He also has sharp memory. Even after living for the 3 months in the zoo, he recognized the author's wife. He has a sharp memory, and also he has individual characteristics just like the human beings. So students, in this chapter we have read that how there is the emotional bonding between the author's wife and a wild animal, sloth bear. So students, I hope you have understood the chapter. So this is all for the day. Thank you and have a nice day.